Madness. I said, young men are coming up. I want to be live where I swear. Now he said, my baby rapping, my own man, I'm getting the market. We're doing, I'm bringing no profit. On my way, people calling me names. All the trouble I see, I ain't do at the peace. When no suffering, no success, I can't pay the poor. Only how I get paid. Sooner or later, my hustle pay. Never, and I'm rushing myself. Keep it cool, everything have a CC. Too much rushing, a problem in chasing. One day. One day. I'm getting cool. One day.
I'm also gonna pay one day. Any mess can gonna see my face. Me pa know I'm not watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. I know my hustle gonna pay one day. Any mess can gonna see my face. Me pa know I'm not watching it. One day, success gonna come my way. Yeah. My mama was so worried. My papa was so worried. My friend was your money. Any mess that will come on and miss. Gonna be. So I on my way. 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 I'm on my way to this place and I'm looking for money. Looking for money, looking for money. I want my mama happy. Want my papa happy. Want my brothers and sisters to come around me. Yeah, happy the book. Why you know you hustle? Why saying the book by the Genesis? Shall come into fire, shall come into power. I feel never working on Wednesday. In my love for the mind, in my love for the mind. All in the dark, all in the week, all in the week. All in the sun, my mama was so worried. My papa was so worried. My friend was your money. Any mess that will come on and miss. So I on my way. 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 I on my way.
Amando, you are a famous star now. So what do you have to say to the audience out there?
Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today I'm at Tufts Market on Charles Street and Ledge Street in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm here with the proprietor. Sir, could you kindly tell us your name and how long this business has been here?
My name is Tunde. I've been in business here for the past almost 35 years.
Wow. And what kind of support have you received from the community, especially the African community?
Yeah, it's a good question. The community have been supporting us, been patronizing us. Basically, if you come here, you want to get the best of Africa, this is the right place to come. Choose Market, 611 Shah Street, Providence, Rhode Island.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sure we're going to spread the news and people will see your business, and I hope more people come to support you.
I really appreciate that and thank you for coming. God bless you.
Thank you very much. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, men and women. Welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson Talk Show. Give me a minute, let me turn my volume up. I see my volume is down. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Yes. So, woke up this morning to upper 60 degrees, 69 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island. But being not dismayed, it's going up to the middle and upper 80s. And yet we haven't rained this afternoon sometime. What's ever happening, make sure you got your umbrella, your poncho, your raincoat. Stay on the safe side, okay? Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. Okay, my topics for this morning are: 1, my Liberian people, why are we continually hurting ourselves and our nation? 2, understanding our Christian responsibilities as citizens to the first African Republic of Liberia. I just added that one there. 3, a need to revisit Liberia's constitution now. Let me take a break, and we'll be back to continue our topics for this morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. I'm here on Broad Street at 934 Broad Street at Sonia's Jewelry. I'm here with the proprietor. Sir, can you tell us your name and how long this business has been here?
Hi, my name is Pedro Feliz. We've been in business for more than 25 years.
And what kind of support do you get from the community?
Oh, we get a very strong support for the community. It's proved that we've been here for already 25 years. That means that we're getting very good support for the community, and we're very proud of the support that they provide to us.
Do you have any message for my people?
Yes, one of the messages that I want to give to my customers is that if you ever need service related to jewelry, or if you ever need to buy a present for your relative, just think about us. Because when you think about us, not only you helping us, you also we're gonna be sure that you're getting the best piece of jewelry at the best price in the community. And also we have other kind of services. We have selection of watches, and we do custom pieces like name jewelry and name rings, a lot of stuff related to jewelry. We also do jewelry repair. If you ever need service or want new pieces, you're more than welcome, so we can do it for you.
Thank you very much, Pedro.
You're very welcome, Mr. Chesson.
Have a good day.
You too, sir. Thank you. Bye.
My Liberian people, why do we continually hurt ourselves in our nation? Excuse me. Why? Why are we continually hurting ourselves in our nation? Look all around us. Look what happened in our country. Every day, there's some illicit affair coming out. Some unconstitutional mess being exposed every day. How long can one nation and people persist on this path? We can't. We can't. We have people that our government cannot sanction, cannot punish, cannot investigate, who are criminals, who continually steal from the coffers of Liberia and the Liberian people. And it has gotten to the point where they can go out in public and admit it and say, if I steal and I build a house in the country, and I go, yeah, and the people say yes. What does that tell us? That does not only tell us of the extent of corruption and stealing and unconstitutional and criminal activities of our leaders going on in our country today, but it also demonstrates to us the extent of our people and the levels of illiteracy, the rate of ignorance, and every negative thing that keep a people and a nation down is demonstrated in our country. Everything in our country. The behaviors of our leaders, the behaviors of our people, I mean, they just complement one another. Our leaders are rogues. They have no respect for law and order. They have no respect for our people because they steal blatantly and come and tell our people, oh, we did this, and nothing comes out of it. And our people, on the other hand, have no interest in advancing themselves, their mental capacities. I mean, it's hard when a whole race of people are totally lost to ignorance, to rogues, to corruption, and evil. It's terrible. And it's so sad that I have to admit, whether I like it or not, that it's my own people. I have to admit it. I have to admit it. And I'm no better than my people. Me and my people are one. So if my people are backward and ignorant and down, who do you think I am? Where can I go in the world and speak as a proud Liberian when the masses of my people are lost, rejected by the rest of the world? It's all a charade. People gotta do diplomacy with us. So they pretend that they respect us. But there's no respect there. There's no respect. Because we elect these people that lead us, that represent us. And the people we elect to represent us are not of good quality. They're low class. They're mediocre. So when the people elect mediocre leaders to represent them, what does that say of the people? We are no different from our leaders. And what's so sad about it? Educated people participate in the whole process and lead it and direct it. So what does that say of our educated people in Liberia? They're no different than the leadership of our country. They're no different. So our whole society is brought down to just sheer mediocrity. Sheer mediocrity. We have nothing to show for ourselves that's good. Sheer mediocrity. And this can't go on because it hurted our country and ourselves. Our future, and not hurting us, it hurting our future. Because if we cannot excel, will our children excel? Our children can't excel. Listen to what happened in Liberia with the free education. The education free, but to go register, the registration fee is so high. You can't pay the registration fee. People can't afford to pay the registration fee. Then buy a uniform for the children, buy books, buy stationery, then feed them during school and all because the school does not provide any food for the children. The schools in our country are in repair. All of them are damaged. So what kind of free education that? The children sit in the class, they're reading, they gotta move because all the zinc leaking, all the building leaking. No windows, no glass to the windows, the rain elements coming through the window. What kind of conducive education is that? Come on, my people, we can do better than this, man. We can do far better than this. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm here to talk the realism of what happened in our country, man. I'm talking life issues here. People don't want to hear that thing, but I can't be here talking about this useless government and what happened in our country. Somebody got to set the path for us to see the future for tomorrow. We got to have a vision in our minds of what we want for tomorrow. If we don't have that vision, we cannot do anything. Some people call it dream. Some people call it ideal. Some people call it prospects of a better future. But it's all a vision in your head of where you want to be from here today to be tomorrow. And if you don't have no good dreams or vision of excelling from where you are today to being better, not just walking the street today, then tomorrow you get your own market. No, that's not excelling. You got to do better than one market. You got to want to go to school. You got to get a trade. You got to learn something with your hands or with your mind. You got to learn something. You can't just worry about selling market. You can't be broke today, walking all over the street. Then in your dreams, your bigger dream is to have your own winter market tomorrow. No, that's not a dream. That's not a dream. That's a hustle. That's a hustle. You got to understand the difference between a dream and a hustle. A hustle gets you nowhere. A hustle, when you lose it, you have nothing to lean on. You have nothing to go forward on. It's a hustle. A dream is something that you use your hands and your minds in a trade. You use your hands to learn a trade, to learn something like baking, like mechanics, like building houses, like doing something with your hands where you don't have to go to school, but you can learn from other people, like a trade. You can sit down, you can be an apprentice to somebody, like a carpenter, like a mason. All the people, they need people to learn from under them. You go under those people and learn how to build, learn how to do carpentry. Those things are trades that you learn with your hands. When you go to school and get degrees, you do it with your mind. Your mind excel. with your hands, you build and you understand what it is to envision things. Because to build things, you can't just build things from scrap. You got to envision how to build it. Everything we do, if it's not in your mind, you can't do it. You can't do it like this show I'm doing. Every morning I can get up. I got to set a program for my show. How I will set my topics. How I will do my issues. How I will deal with my ads and all of these. Those things got to be set in my mind before they can come to reality. They call it fruition, success. If you don't have it in your mind, you cannot succeed. So when you go to learn something with your hands, when you go learn something with your mind, you learn how to dream. You learn how to set visions before you, because you can't be a carpenter. If they say build a cabinet, if you don't have it in your mind of the style you want to build it, or the style your client tell you they want, if you don't envision it, you can't build it. Some people got to put it on paper first. It comes from their mind, then they put it on paper and they see it, then they do it. Some people, they just envision it and get up and do it. They don't have to draw it. Okay? So that's the vision with your hands. When you use your hands, you got to build, you got to bake, you got to sew, you got to do different things. And all of those things help you to get vision. Because if you're a good seamstress, if you're a good tailor, and you want to design your own line of clothing, you got to envision it. Versace, Tommy Hilfiger, all these people, they had to envision things to have their own line of designs that other people don't have, that other people got to copy. So you see, everything comes with vision. So when you use your hands, you learn how to dream, to make things with your hands. When you do things with your mind, you learn how to dream, how to excel in mental capacities. You know, through book learning, through leadership, through all those kind of good things. So you got to dream. You got to dream. And right now, our people and country, we're not dreaming. We're not dreaming because our leadership has no vision. Our leadership is worse than the people. It's mediocre leadership. They can't dream. They have no vision. They are rogues. They steal. That's all they think about stealing. How can we steal from the people? How can we lie to the people, to take from the people? They are rogues. They cannot vision anything better for our country. They cannot envision it. Because all that in their minds is, how can I benefit myself? And that's yesterday that what I was telling you about interest. When your personal interests oversee the interests of the people you want to lead, you fail. You fail. Because we are a democracy. If we are a dictatorship or autocracy or kleptocracy, that would be something different. But under a democracy, when you take your interest and put it over the people's interest, you fail, because that's not the basic tenets of our doctrine, of our democratic values. That's not it. It's for the people. We do things for the people, for the whole, for the collective. And if you don't understand that, we'll always be in the dark. We'll always hide ourselves, because our country cannot be a democracy. And we have a few people and a few families and a few friends ruling our country. That's what you call tribalism. That's what you call nepotism. That's what you call ethnocentrism. I ain't got that word correct. Yeah? Ethnocentrism. Yes, where it has to do with thinking about your people, a sect, ethnicity. You are centered on one group of people. Tribalism, that's the same thing. Nepotism, that's the same thing. All of them fall within that category. When our country is obsessed with these negative aspects of familyhood and people leadership, and we neglect the basic tenets of our democracy, which is fairness for all, equality for all. We forsake these principles that values our system of democracy and promotes it and elevates it to another level. We turn to selfishness and greed and family rule. It is not good for our country. We continually hurt ourselves. We hurt ourselves. And in our ignorance, our blindness, we think it's good. We say, yeah, they did it, so we got to do it. That somebody, Barnes, Ambassador Nat Barnes, were talking the same thing on Spoon TV, how people glorify these kind of negative things, because other people did it and got away with it. We use it as justification for us to do the same things and perpetuate the corruption, the negativity, the evils in our country. It doesn't help us. It doesn't raise our level of existence to a better level. It doesn't. All it does is demeans us, keep us stagnated. We can't grow, we can't go down, we just stay one place because we reach to that place of success. And in our minds, in our mediocre minds, in our obsessed minds, that's success. And that's not success. Look at our country, man. Look at, we don't even have, what? We don't even have 500 miles of roads, paved roads. We don't. And it's terrible, man. It's terrible. It's terrible. That means our people have no access to good things. Even education is far-fetched. Law and order, that's out of the book, man. Everybody doing their own thing in our country. So where do we stand on all of this? I don't want to, let me end this topic right here. Because we can't go any further with this until we understand what our duties and responsibilities are. Which I will deal with next. Because as a Christian nation, we have duties and responsibilities. Duties and responsibilities that flow from our Christianity to us, that we're supposed to make sure flow from us to our children. And this is not happening in Liberia. So let me take a break and we'll talk about that kind of thing, okay? How are you? Could you tell us your full name and when you got into business here?
Yes, my name is Raphael Leslie. We started a business, actually started in Boston first, and we expand here for about maybe 5 to 6 months now, and we finally gravitate into the community. We having a few different variety of customer coming in, trying our food, which we get good feedback. So we've been doing all right. We like the community, and we hope the community will support us.
Good. It's good to hear you get support. Yes, so you're going to be on my show. What message do you have for people who will watch you?
Well, I would say Raphael's restaurant is actually one of the best around Massachusetts, and if you wish to get good tasting food, preferably like oxtail, curry goat, and jerk chicken, it's here at 5 568 Broad Street, Rhode Island, Providence. Come on down and enjoy some of the great Caribbean food.
Thank you very much, Raphael.
Yes, sir. You're welcome.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tony Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. Today, I'm at Kebe's African restaurant on the other side of Providence. And she is right here. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Kebe McCann.
Now, Kebe has been here for a while, and this is one of our Liberian restaurants. So, Kebe, tell us how long you've been in this spot and why you decided to get into business.
I've been in this spot for 14 years now. I decided to open this restaurant because of helping people, going out and feeding the homeless, and we need a place where the food is cooked. And I opened this restaurant. Since then, I'm still at the same place, 850 Admiral Street.
So how has the community responded to your effort?
Well, the community has responded greatly to my efforts. I do successful feed the homeless, and people have embraced the business, and it led me to move forward to Liberia to open an orphanage for children in Liberia.
Wow, you have an
All
orphanage?
from this restaurant.
You're kidding me.
And because of the customer has been very nice to me and loyal to me, I was able to go to Liberia 3 weeks ago and open an orphanage in my late mother's name, Eugenia Bright.
Wow. Where's the orphanage?
In New Georgia, Liberia.
Wow. So what message do you have for your customers?
Well, my customers are very loyal to me, and they are very faithful. They always help me when we're doing the backpack giveaway for children every year, which will soon be coming down end of the month. And then we give the food away, the turkey and chicken in November. And because of the customer, all the tips they leave, and all the encouragement help me to promote this business and do what I'm doing moving forward. So I love my customers, I love my neighbors, and I love everybody in general.
We thank you very much for your efforts.
Thank you, and God bless you too.
Thank you too. Let the people see the delicious food you're fixing here.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. My second topic for the day. Let my topic come around because my notes are different from my topic sometimes. Understanding our Christian responsibilities as citizens to the Republic of Liberia. Understanding our responsibilities as Christians. How can I best explain our duties and responsibilities as Christians? You know, one of the best phrases is, I think I would call the phrase, a prose. I don't know how to pronounce. I'm not an educated person. I'm not an English person to rather say what it is. Whether it's a prose, or just lyrics, or it's the slogan of the Boy Scouts. That is what best describes our Christian responsibilities to our country. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country and to obey the Scouts' law. To help other people at all times, to keep myself physically fit, mentally awake, and morally straight. Now, when you look at the oath of the Boy Scout, yes, that's an oath. When you look at the oath of a Boy Scout, that best explains the duties and responsibilities of our people as Christian, as a nation of predominantly Christian people. Why? Because our Christian principles, there are two laws that are profoundly significant to all Christians. One, love God, out of the question. Two, love your neighbor as yourself. That's the second principle and most significant for us. The first law is abstract. Love God. Yes, I can't see love. You can feel it. I can't see it. Whatever touches you is your interpretation of love. I can't say what love is to you, and you can't say what love is to me. So it's abstract. It's in the abstract. But the second law of God is physical and mundane. Love your neighbor as yourself. So as a Christian nation and people, how do we best manifest this love for each other in our daily lives? For me, what guides me and should guide every other Liberian, that what I say is very important for us to resurrect a strong Boy Scouting and Girl Scouting or Girl Guiding Association in Liberia, because that's the foundation of Christian upbringing, of Christian exertion, building men and women ready for the world, prepared with skills and with rules and the ability to honor these rules for what they are. So let's go with the Boy Scout oath in these few minutes, and let me break it down for you. Okay, right now, our leaders are a mess. Our president, George Weah, was tried in the American court where he lied. He's a deadbeat dad. He did not pay child support. They brought him from America, from Liberia, as a deadbeat dad. He's a deadbeat dad. He got money, but he too useless and cheap and criminal to pay child support. So they brought him here and he lied. He said he wasn't making no money. Yes, man, a star, lying to the people. So he got off. Our speaker, they say, was arrested in American jail for years for stealing too. Kofa. Our Minister of Foreign Affairs, he can't come to America right now. They will jail him. Our Minister of State for Presidential Affairs just got sanctioned by the United States. He can't go to America either. So we have all these criminals leading us. From the president, all his ministers are criminals. They're leading us. And what can we say about that? Because our people elect these people. Our sense of Christian values are debased. Because Christians don't elect criminals to lead them, especially when we know they are criminals. We don't elect them. We don't want to associate them with them. We want to punish them and rectify and correct their actions and their ways. But this is where we come now. So let's look at the Boy Scout thing. On my honor, I will do my duty. You see? Right there. From small, they start teaching you about duty. Duty is responsibility. When you got duty, you got responsibility to fulfill. And you don't fulfill it, you are a failure. And as a leader, you got to understand your duties and responsibility and fulfill them. So as a Boy Scout, you the first thing you understand that all my honor, I have a duty to God and my country. You have a duty. They tell you that specifically as a child, that that's your duty. It's not a privilege. It's a duty to God and your country. That means, what is your duty to God? What is your duty to your country? Your duty to God is going to church and learning the principles of moral discipline and moral living and how Christians are supposed to like Christian living. And understand that and try to strive to live that way. What are your duties to your country? Knowing your constitution and laws and striving to obey them and punishing those who do not obey them, exposing them and punishing them. That's your duty right there to God and your country. Because for your country, you're a patriot. You have to maintain your country, all the instrumentalities of your country, you got to protect it and you got to see it grow. Because if you don't protect it, how will it grow? So we have a duty to guard our country. What else? And to obey this called law. On my honor, I have a duty to guard my country and to obey this called law. That's a duty. That's why I'm telling you, duty to obey the law. Because this called law is law. It's just telling you got to obey law. Whatever this called law says is relevant to the bigger laws of our nation and our world. So right there from childhood, it starts teaching you responsibilities of following laws. You got to obey law. You got to be obedient. You can't just be wayward. You can't do everything you want to do. You got to know that there are limits to everything we do in our lives. So there's duty and there's obedience. Okay? Then what else to tell you? Duty to God and my country and to obey this, to help other people. Charity. That's the foundation of our Christian principles. Because charity begins at home. Charity. Everything is called oath. God and my country, to obey the Boy Scout law, to help other people, charity, goodness, kindness, the foundation of our Christian principle, because everything in Christianity rests on Jesus Christ's love for us. So all we are as Christians are followers in the principles of love and forgiveness and kindness and peace and understanding and sharing. Those are the fundamental principles and teachings of Jesus Christ. So right in the Boy Scout laws or oath, they teach our children about charity. Then after they tell you all these things that you got to deal with that has to do with our collective living, then you come to your personal living. To keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Your body, as Christians, is the temple of God. So you got to keep yourself physically strong. You got to exercise. You can't slouch. You can't be a loser. You can't be a couch potato. You got to know that everything we do rests on our ability to go forth and do what we got to do, our mission to humanity and God. So in order to fulfill those things, we have to stay physically fit. We got to be mentally strong because we live in the world of Satan as Christians. Satan, God gave this world to Satan to rule for a number of time, for a certain time. So that's why we always got to pray and make sacrifices as Christians so we don't be misled into sin, into debauchery, into evil. We don't be misled. And we got to stay on that path of praying and keep on renewing our Christian teachings and understanding and duties and responsibilities. We got to keep renewing it or we fail. So the final thing is ourselves. The Boy Scout oath gave us a complete scope of where we need to be in our lives. We need to understand that we have duties. Christian duties that are physical duties. Love thy neighbor as thyself. What does that mean? Helping other people, protecting other people, leading other people in the right direction, speaking up for other people, teaching other people the right way, condemning evil, condemning wrong, standing up as men and women for the truth. And sometimes it hurts, but you got to suck it up and accept it. So that's our duty. Then all of that comes from our obedience to laws, to principles, to policies, to direction, to collective agreements, and not faltering or withering. So then we come down to where our Christian principles are fundamental, helping each other, helping people, helping the elders, helping the old, helping the young, helping everybody who need our help. And they don't have to ask, but we see that they need it. And we ask, you need help? They don't always have to ask us. Sometimes we see it, and they may not be of the capacity to ask for help. So we ask them, you need help? Whether they need it or not. Then finally, after we take care of everybody else in God's kingdom, then we look to ourselves. That does not mean we are neglecting ourselves for last. No, because in order to be physically strong and fit and all of that, it coincides with all our other interests. We were talking about yesterday, when we have state interests, our personal interests. How far can our state interests overshadow our personal interests? How far can our personal interests overside our interests of the people? So when we understand these two interests, we can make them coincide with one another, because they're not impossible, bringing these interests together. Okay, because our interest is the interest of the whole as well. Okay, let me rest my case on this. So to understand our Christian duties and responsibility to our country, let's refer to our skull laws of duties. Duty to country and God. Okay, obedience to law, skull law, charity, helping other people. Then finally, ourselves, maintaining our bodies, our minds, and our moral standings as Christians. Okay, let me rest my topic, my lesson on this topic. Okay, let's go to another ad and we can move on to the next thing. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson. I'm at Flames, the Jamaican restaurant in Providence, Rhode Island. I'm here with the proprietor. Ma'am, could you kindly tell us your name and how long this business has been here?
My name is Sophia, and this business has been here for 6 years.
What kind of support have you received from the community?
Great support. We receive great support from the community.
And especially the African community?
The African, the Spanish, and then we're close to the hospital, so there's a lot of people that come by from the hospital. All different culture.
Wow, that's
Everybody
nice.
want to try something new.
Yes, I just took a shot of some of your food here. It seems very delicious. I've had some of them too, some of your meal.
Yeah.
What message do you have for your customers?
They could come anytime. Come anytime. We treat our customer with great respect.
Thank you very much, Sophie.
You're welcome.
And I hope you have good luck here as long as you're here.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day.
You too, dear. Thanks.
My third topic, a need to revisit Liberia's constitution now. There is a grave need to visit our reconstitution. Why? For 2 or 3 reasons. One, the illiteracy rate in our country is too high. In order for us to select the leaders we need for our country, to guide us with some understanding of our plight and where our country is going and needs to go. We can't just have any Liberian elected into office in our country. No. If we had a country with an equilibrium or some sort of equality with half educated and half illiterate, or majority educated and the rest illiterate, then we could stand to have anybody in our government. But as it is right now, with the masses of our people illiterate and the few people in government today exploiting the illiteracy and ignorance of the masses of our people for their own personal gain, it's a problem. So my idea for a better Liberia right now, to save our country and the masses of our people, is for us to revisit our constitution and put in our laws that any elected officer, all elected officers, must at least have a high school diploma. It's a necessity. You must have a high school diploma. We're not talking about college. We're not talking about anything. But our country is too far illiterate. Look at our House of Representatives right now. People go and just put anybody they want to put there. And with the understanding of our people so low, it's a national security risk to our country. Because people can mislead our people. Look at what happened on July 26th, when Jefferson Koji, a useless boy, and his thugs go and attack our university students. So when you got leadership like that, people high school dropout, some people never went to school. Some people sell in the market, they just come from the market and you put it in the House of Representatives. It's a disservice in and of itself to our people. So I'm proposing a revisit of the Liberian Constitution where we're enshrined within our laws a provision that everybody running for elective office in our nation must possess some kind of education, at least to the high school level. And that's my proposal for us to save our country from pure ignorance and destruction. The time of the Liberian people is now. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. My class is done, and so is my lesson for today. Have a good day.